Trinity Infinity. Coming at you
Yeah.
on this glorious Thursday. You're killing it, guys. Don't give up on us. God damn it, we're still not done. We're almost there. And we're here for Thursday.
We're here. Welcome.
You loved it.
We're here. Beautiful. Cass, thank you for joining us, and thanks for doing something in the band.
Oh yeah, I can whenever you need, I'll drop a beat. You know.
You should do that more often. You
Yeah.
can hold a beat. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, it's in your head that you can't.
No kidding.
We've discussed. Me and Mare both know firsthand that you have rhythm. I'm not going to get explicit, but you do, and you just got to channel it into instruments every now and then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hand me that bong.
Damn, we're getting fucking frisky.
All right. So we ended last episode.
What came out? What fell out?
I guess I should tell you. Shadow.
Oh no, the shadow.
The shadow and the darkness.
The shadow
wanna read this
realm
for us?
calls us.
I love
Yeah.
the readings.
Number 25, Divine Healers.
I'll hold it up.
There you go. All right. Although no one likes to admit it, we all have our dark sides and shadows. Those less than flattering facets of our personality that take delight in abusing and shaming others and wielding power in the most unfair ways. Whether it's the condescending remark to the slow-moving grocery bagger at the supermarket, the aggressive hand gesture directed towards the meandering driver on the road, or the belittling comment made to your uncooperative child. Many of us are guilty of hurting or deriding others at times. Your divine healers are present now to help you witness your shadow, lovingly making you aware that it's actually contempt for yourself and your vulnerability that fuels such hostility towards others. These gentle but powerful higher forces surround you in love and urge you to accept and embrace your weaker aspects, rather than harshly rejecting yourself by attacking those aspects in others. Ease up and be more tolerant of yourself. If you do so, these shadows will give way to light and healing. Your divine healer's message: ask for help and accept our light.
Wow.
That's kind of on theme for this week thus far.
It's very on theme. It's very on theme with what we ended. I believe what we ended yesterday's episode talking about. Weren't we talking about fear of the dark and shadow realms and confronting this stuff?
Absolutely. I think that's so much about what winter is about in general, but absolutely this time, like I've been talking about with Venus and Capricorn conjunct the god of the underworld, Pluto. It's a lot of shadow work that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And we just moved out of the Mercury in Scorpio, but that was a lot of shadow work as well, as I talked about, very investigative energy. And now our Mercury, our man on the ground, is moved on to more of a fiery presence, but we have all of this dark, shadowy energy. I mean, doesn't winter always feel like that to you? Just more reflective?
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
you know,
There's less distractions.
less distractions,
It's
more time
dark
to
out at
think
fucking
about.
4:00 in the afternoon. It's like you're inside, and I guess you can distract yourself, but it's definitely brings up more time for reflection. I take baths in the winter.
Right.
And those are like long think sessions, you
Yeah.
know, just with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good for
Sometimes I try to fit in there. Sometimes we
me.
all
Cass
try.
comes in there with me. You'll get in there.
I think you guys are more a shower team.
Yeah.
What is
Definitely, I
shadow
love
work?
showers.
Why don't we talk about that? Maybe that's not maybe that's not a familiar term for people.
Shadow boxing.
Well, I mean, I think she says it in this card in a lot of ways, is that your shadow presents itself, but you think it's with someone else doing something wrong. It's like this mirror is actually your shadow. Your judgments of your anger towards someone else is like, that is your shadow. You
Yeah.
think you're seeing what's someone else, but it's really a dark reflection of yourself, you know?
Yeah, totally. I like that they call out like the frustration with the person in the grocery line, because like that's always the one. Or like we have friends that lose their mind in traffic, and I used to. My dad, all he wants to talk about is bumper to bumper traffic on the Deegan. Oh my God, how am I going to get home? Should I take 287 or should I take the Bruckner? And it's a bumper to bumper. Like it's like this avoidance of, you know, those moments where you might have to sit there like and actually just fucking be patient. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the times when the shadow could bubble up is the times where we start getting frustrated.
yeah, there's times where you can like, you're like, oh fuck, I'm toxic, I'm dark, there's times that you can recognize it, and then there's times where someone else needs to call it out for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're the queen bee? Like, you know what I mean? And you gotta almost take that as
you guys have an excuse with your period, you know, and
talk about the shadow realm. Oh my God.
I was just thinking, well, I mean, I put that into your head. I was just thinking, like, I guess, yeah, I do my shadow work on my period. It's like it's forced shadow work as a woman, you know.
It's intense.
Yeah.
You were going through it this past month, and I'm like,
I do every month. I have 2 days in the month that I lose my will to live every month.
Oh man.
It was tough for me. I was like, this is that you have lost your will to live, and we're like so close to you. It made me feel like a failure. Like I want to make you happy and make you. So I felt like it was like really kind of. I had a tough time with it, you know.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, I get mine, and I'm like, lose my will to live.
I want to fucking kill myself. I would never hurt myself. I'm sorry.
No, it's like you kind of forget, and you're like, okay, and it comes back around. And I think it's like one of these humbling things that women get to go through every month. And as much as you want to say like, oh, it's such a drag, like there is something incredibly cleansing, I guess, about going into the darkness and feeling
like men don't have that, and that's why like I'm glad now. I just say to you guys like I'm on my period today, and like I have 2 days a month where I lose the will to live, and I also have 2 weeks a month where my partner's on a period, so it's like half my month is like okay, so but every now and then you guys know.
That's why I talk about the mushroom and how they affect men differently. Is like men don't take that time of like reflection, you know, and forced rest that women have to take all the time.
Yeah, totally. That's why the mushrooms really come for the men, and it seems like
you just have a backlog of it.
Yeah, it's built up. Yeah, just those days where you're like, fuck it. Admittedly, I am struggling with the will to live today. Like that's fucking freeing in itself. Just like hearing yourself say that, or just letting yourself kind of just fall into that feeling and know there's another side to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It passes. You know, that's the thing that I try to remind myself and try to remind anyone else who's feeling that way is like, oh, it's temporary.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And that's the kind of the beautiful thing about a period too, is like, you know, it is one of the most temporary things. Like you're going deeper into it and then you're coming out of it before you know it.
Totally.
And then you get this, like the first week after your period is, I think, one of the best weeks of the month, where you just have like a renewed energy and excitement, because you probably, I mean, it's hormonal and there's scientific reasons for it, but it's also like the contrast of like having felt so horrible.
Exactly. Exactly. You're like, okay, cool. I don't have to deal with that for another fucking 3-4 weeks. You can have 6.
Yeah, being a woman is, it's the full experience for sure.
God bless y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, come on. Can I shout out an artist that we've been loving?
Yeah.
Oh my God, please, let's talk about it.
This is an album by J.J. Cale called Naturally.
Been loving it.
We've been loving this. I've been a huge fan of J.J. Cale most of my life. He is so under-celebrated.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton called him the most important American guitar player. And he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Used to play with Leon Russell. They were in, I think, the same band a few times back in Tulsa.
That's cool.
And there's a really great YouTube. I think I've posted it on the Discord. I'll post it again, of J.J. Cale and Leon Russell doing like an in-studio thing with like all their friends, and they just did like a 2-hour set, like the type of stuff we want to shoot for Church of Chill. They did one of those, and it's so fucking awesome. But he's like really easy breezy music. you know,
Yeah.
is really seductive.
I was psyched when we got this album because it was like the cover's so cute, but it's also just like a solid vibe, and that's what you want in an album, especially with vinyl. You don't want to be skipping songs. Like
No.
I have no. That's very clear, and so you put this on, and it just like feels good and feels right. And I think it when we first started having records be in the apartment and more part of our life, like I initially wanted to organize our records by like time of day that I would play the
We
record.
did do that for a while.
We did it for like a week.
Yeah.
But I would say for this one, I'd be like, that's an any time of day.
Yeah, totally. This could be 2 a.m. or like 10 a.m, pretty much. Yeah, they have the first song is Call Me the Breeze, and Leonard Skinner made that a huge hit. And they have the song After Midnight on here, which Eric Clapton made a huge hit. So like other people would play his songs, like, you know, he's a musician's musician,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, other musicians.
Did you see
really.
Mowgli's on the cover?
I
too?
know, it's crazy. There's a raccoon and also Mowgli. So.
And know what I noticed the other day? I don't know if I ended up texting you this, Mare, but the icon of the dog on Apple emoji looks like Mowgli too. Like the brown eye on one side and brown ears.
Mowgli's a dog's dog, like J.J. Cale's a musician's musician. Like when you think of a dog, like the dictionary picture of a dog is like Mowgli. You know, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, totally.
Dog's
Iconic.
dog.
Yeah, he's a dog's dog for sure.
He is a dog's dog.
Yeah, I like being able to recommend a record or an album every now and then. And as long as we resisted having our records down here, I've been living in the city 17, 18 years. I never had my records down here. It's been the best thing. I highly recommend getting into a practice of physically having the music because who knows, like if Spotify went out of business, like if something happened, if they got hacked or they went down, like I don't even know what the fuck I've been listening to. That's kind of why Church of Chill's important. I'm pulling that stuff off, so like at least we have this stockpile of stuff in case.
For when the apocalypse and the internet goes down?
Yeah. Like,
But somehow we can still get electricity.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm like, I just don't want to be reliant on renting our music forever. You know, we own this now. Like, we have this. So I highly recommend it. And you commune with it in a different way. You listen more, I feel like. It sounds better.
Yeah, you love it.
You love it.
You love it.
We do love it.
You do
We
love
do
it.
love
These girls
it.
love it. If it's like a crackling fire in the background all the time.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. It's true. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, and dudes, if you're trying to attract women, like have some nice records around. Like, you know, they might not appreciate it at first, but it's such a vibe, man.
Well, it's like
Make your lights good and have records. Some incense,
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, you should give more tips on the vibe.
I'll do it on the Patreon. I'll do a boys club episode with Joey where I can talk
Okay.
about
the immaculate vibration.
the immaculate vibration that it takes to attract beautiful women such as Mare and Cass to your life.
It definitely, I don't appreciate it enough, but it does keep me around because when I go someplace, when I go someplace and if I'm around someone else taking over the music, I get so upset. Like I have a really hard time. Like it's really important to me that it's like good music playing or that I like music. And with how much music you play on Church of Chill, you'd think, oh, Cass likes everything, but it's like, no, there's like so much music that I just grinds my gears. I'm like, I can't.
You only like what I play. Was it in your birthday book that said you like having the auxiliary chord? You were just talking about this to me this morning.
There was, in the myriad of places that you can get astrology reports, it was one of the things. So by extension, I feel like I have it.
But I was like, well, that's not true. I feel like Cass never demands it.
Some people have certain things, and I think that bringing attention to the vibe is something that we've really enjoyed doing, like making sure the lights are good and having candles. Like candles are like the cheapest way to turn your winter so bright.
Yeah, candles. Yeah, it's a silly small, but it's a great recommendation. Candles. Also, like no one comes into our house without Cass. Like they have a glass of water and snacks in front of them, like before they even sit down. I think that's really
Don't
cool,
overpromise
too.
the snacks. I'm not always on my
Not
snack
always.
game.
Our snack game sometimes is lacking.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I don't like it when people have snacks for me.
Yeah.
If I don't ask for it, it makes it feel like it's a formality, and then I feel pressured to eat them, and I don't know
Yeah.
what they are, where they've come from.
Well, the first time
And
you
sometimes
came
it
over,
stresses me
the
out.
first time you came over, we made something. I think you loved it. You said you loved it.
Roasted artichoke hearts?
We made roasted artichoke hearts. And,
Yeah.
And you loved it. And I think it helped us seduce you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did love it. I did love it.
You love it.
I did.
We love you.
I don't want people to feel pressured, you know.
There's a
To have that part as part of the seduction.
It's up in the air about whether your snack game should be strong
Look,
or not so
look.
strong.
Don't feel pressure to put out snacks, but to have an immaculate record collection and a
Yeah.
important.
Exactly.
Don't feel pressure to go get pretzels, but you need to have at least 100 records at any given moment.
Yeah. And to have listened to like everything ever.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
to have watched everything ever.
That helps.
Well,
It
that's where
helps.
I feel like we try to support people with like putting it together episodes. I mean, I don't put them together, but you know what I mean? Being like,
You
hey,
support
Sean,
Sean, and then Sean
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah,
so
like,
it's
hey,
a
Sean,
team-
can we-
it's a team effort.
can we
for
get another
sure.
episode going? You know, that kind
I
of thing.
feel like I could talk about that on Boys Club too, is like how I sacrificed the first half of my life with just like listening to everything and watching everything.
Yeah,
like, and it was
totally.
not a good look. It was not a good look. It was not seductive. I did not have babes hanging all over me. But I sacrificed that part of my life. You know what I mean? I was a young nerd.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's really,
it paid off.
it's really how your Saturn paid off.
Yeah, oh my God, thank God that like I could sit here and tell you a story about the Rolling Stones or fucking
Yeah.
some fucking weird song that Bruce
Yeah.
did or whatever.
Well, I've hung out with musicians my whole life, and nobody's like knowledgeable like you know, you nerd out. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
I
it's
appreciate
definitely
it.
won you lots of points.
Both of you guys are like walking encyclopedias of your own
Yeah.
thing, and I just try to serve some good snacks.
Oh my God. Well. It's been another beautiful
No,
day.
Cass is like putting on like she's not the seductress, but she is like the fuckboy of this
Oh
relationship.
yeah.
so
Oh, we could definitely get into that. Fuck boy
it's not
cast.
just snacks that you offer, Cass.
No.
Yeah, we'll need a $50 Patreon tier to talk more about that one.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we'll do that one day. We'll see. If there's a demand, we'll fulfill
We'll
it.
meet the supply with demand.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much. It's been another beautiful day. We're Trinity Infinity. If you want to hear us talk more and hear more extended podcasts and everything, we've been putting those on patreon.com/churchofchill. Lots of fun music there. You're going to love
They're
it.
gonna love it.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.